So hiking the Appalachian Trail, how did that come about for you? I think you had said you had, since you were a child, you had talked
Mm,
about it. And how
right.
exactly did you get the name Crockett?
Yeah, it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to abbreviate as much as possible. Growing up, as I mentioned, hiking the Appalachian Trail was a dream of not just mine, but my brother and my father. And so, the three of us had talked about doing it from, the time I was probably, 10, 11 years old. And hiking the Appalachian Trail, as almost everyone who would know about it knows, that there's a lot that goes into it, and it's a lot of it's times. And so when you're going to get all that time to actually hike it, even sectionally, it takes a while to do sections. So we had talked on and on about it, and as I grew up and started a family and everything else, it became harder and harder. And then it was probably in the 1990s that it was starting to look like, I was selling into a career. My dad was reaching retirement age, and we started talking again about it and said, let's figure out a way to do this. So he was a big Sobo guy. He says, everyone's going north, I'm going south, and so I said, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's start at Katahdin, and we'll spend like 4 to 6 weeks every year and work our way down. And so that plan was going great. We got the maps, we got everything going, and it was just about ready to go. I think it was just before 2000, and unfortunately, he had a stroke, and then within a few weeks, he passed away. And so that was a blow. But without my dad being part of it, it kind of changed the dynamic. So for me, instead of doing a sectional, which is the only way my dad could physically do it, and I could do it, time wise, I thought it would be better to wait and maybe go when I retire and have the time, and then go a full traditional through hike. So when it came time to get a trail name, um, I thought a lot about it, and I talked to my family and my daughter in particular, Sarah, and she said, why don't you think about this? Your grandpa was Dave, and everyone called him Davy growing up, and then all his buddies called him Davy Crockett. So how about Crockett? And it just that was like light bulb, boom, absolutely. Got to honor my dad, and so because going through the entire hike, I wouldn't spend a day without thinking of my dad, and even had some of his mementos along with me. It was fitting that the name I took for the trail name was Crockett, and to honor him.